Chronicles TV on air. We are now live in 3, 2, 1.
And welcome to another episode of Ace Attorney. In the previous episode we had an hour-long session, but now we're going into what could be the concluding part. If you're hot today's episode, make sure to like button supports compared to the channel.
Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glass in a toast. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving trace, please do show me. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway.
Damn, she hurt us bad. That most captivating and beautiful testimony will go down in Supreme Court history. Thank you.
Easy does it. I hope that is the last time I will have to sully my lips with the coarse tones of your unbecoming tongue. Oh, forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone. Not at all, not at all. It's a delightful merrily to hear you speak, dear lady. And it seems very clear from your testimony that this boorish talk of the victim's burn is utterly irrelevant. I was speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what has happened here today.
The Minister of Justice?
May that irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible. Amen.
Huh? Thanks? Was that a prayer then? Well, you'll have to forgive the oration, Miss Brett, and put up with the cross-examination now. I expect you've noticed that this little bully of a student, as you put it, doesn't miss much. I'm sure I don't need to remind you, counsel, that this will be your final cross-examination in this trial. If you fail to demonstrate anything possible with this witness testimony, I will be ruling on the case immediately. Is that clear? Oh my gosh! Yes, Your Excellency. Then you may proceed with the cross-examination. What we learned so far? Press on for words. Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burned his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glass in a toast. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyways. Let's go from left to right, please. Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt. You didn't even notice that?
Yes!
But his hand was on the steering hub plate for at least 3 whole seconds. You cannot have noticed.
Do you think so? Let me ask you something.
I feel like we're gonna be dumb on this.
Ever since I arrived at the courtroom, and even still now, the fly on those unsightly black trousers of yours have been wide open. You cannot have noticed. Can you?
Huh? What?
Haha, what the fun. You hadn't realized? The dear lady is absolutely right.
As your friend, you've embarrassed me as well as yourself, Ryunosuke. Why didn't you tell me?
Dr. Wilson was a true English gentleman. He chose honorable silence over a vulgar scream. Can your tiny brains imagine such a thing?
Oh yes, I think my tiny brain cell can. Well, I can't.
Anyway.
When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glass in a toast.
Yes!
As you testified before, you were drinking carbonated water, is that right? Dr. Wilson was only permitted to drink water at the time, if you remember, which explains why he ordered that drink, correct, waiter? Exactly as you say, sir. Although, whether or not the professor actually drank any of the water when I delivered the steak to the table, I'm afraid I don't remember that.
Damn you. I have enough English to understand that, at least. For the benefit of others in the court, it means bless you.
Yes, let's go with that. I think it means the exact opposite.
Anyway, as far as I've heard, the postmortem report showed no other post cause of death besides the gunshot.
Let's see. Death occurred after 2 p.m. Well, let me see the exam. Time of death shortly after 2 p.m. Cause of death, single bullet fired at close range. Fatal hemorrhage from pectoral ballistic trauma. No exit wound, bullet did not pass through the body.
Yes!
Yes, it's written here in the paperwork. Fatal hemorrhage from ballistic trauma.
Yes.
Luckily for all of us, a little burn on the wrist isn't going to kill us. And as there were no signs of trauma on the victim's body to indicate some other cause of death. It can only have been the bullet from your gun that put in an innocent man's life. But it doesn't make sense. The burn must have been straight away, when the plate was first brought to the table by the waiter. Yes, that's true. If it had cooled off even slightly, it wouldn't have been able to make a burn like that. And even if the victim burned his wrist on the hot plate as soon as it was brought out of the kitchen, then he must already been dead at that point, or the anesthesia. And yet, the fact is the victim was killed by a gunshot to the chest, until you are able to show the court evidence to disprove that this is a complete waste of time. I concur.
Anyways,
If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me.
yes!
Well, without leaving a trace...
If someone is shot, or strangled, or stabbed, or thrown from a height, however a person's life is taken, there are always telltale traces of the body.
Quite right, dear lady. And as a police force has thoroughly examined the body of disease, there can be no doubt. Isn't that right, Inspector Hosonaga? As I said, I always aim for a flawless investigation. There will be physical traces with all those causes of deaths, that's true. But maybe there's some other way of killing someone that doesn't leave a mark.
If heaven forbid you doubt me, young man, you're going to have to tell everyone how exactly you think the professor did lose his life. Otherwise, I'm afraid your argument falls rather flat, doesn't it?
Oh no, perhaps I thought calling such a sweet young lady innocent isn't a question. On my honor, I take Takatsuchi Aoji will cut down who dare cast such aspirations. A way of killing someone that leaves no trace. We need some evidence to back up here. Yes, evidence.
Yes!
Inferior? What do you mean by that?
In the lands of the Great British Empire, the police store everything found at a crime scene for later examination. In this country, you investigate once, and that's the end of it. Isn't that so?
Quite right. La Carnival is open for business as usual today, just 2 days after the incident.
Exactly, which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction,
What was that?
vital bits may be lost.
What was that?
It doesn't even occur to your naive detectives to try to preserve the crime scene. I'm trying to be tactful about this as I can, you understand.
What was that?
Killer blow, that's Lady Formidable to you.
Amazing. He actually admitting our police may be flawed. Perhaps Professor Aiuchi is finally starting to sense. I very much doubt that. Still, there's something about what Miss Brett just said. There was a moment before when something didn't seem quite right. Okay, how do we press that? What do you think, Rinosuke? I think it's going terribly. No matter how much I press her, I'm not turning up any new information. Yes, as I suspected. She's a tough witness. We need to find a way to break her testimony, or the cross-examination will be over. But what do you mean? I have to find a way. There must be some clue somewhere to help us find a clink in the armor. Kazuma. What, Rinosuke? There is one thing I noticed. Something that's been bothering me. Bothering you? You mean... about Miss Brett? Actually, no. About the person standing next to her. Inspector Hosanaga. The detective? Yes, he seemed to react a little strangely to Miss Brett's last statement. I was wondering if it might be significant. If it might present an opening, maybe. Alright, I have an idea. Try pressing her on that last statement one more time. If you think so, but this time, instead of talking to the woman herself, let's see what we can get out of the detective. Alright then, I wonder what Cosmo's thinking. I'll find out soon enough, I suppose, once I press Miss Brett on her last statement again. 1, 2, 3, 4? What was the... Wasn't it the last one? Or was it this one?
Yes!
It was this one, right? Okay, it was another one then. It was the last one. Yeah, I messed up on that one.
Yes!
Inferior, blah blah blah.
Wait.
There it is. So what do we do from there, Chief? Yes, there it is again. The detective's reaction is just the same as before. Why? Up until now, the detective has been in stand with the Miss Brett as an interpreter. But things are very different now. With this testimony, the detective is just listening to what the Englishwoman has to say. This could be a golden opportunity. What do you mean? When people are actually testifying, they're usually very careful not to let anything slip. However, when they're listening to someone else speak, you'll find they often let their guard down. You're right. Look at him. He's lost in his own thoughts. It's time to pursue the man in his train of thought. Sorry? Pursue? I'll explain how to do it now, Ryunosuke. It's all to do with the witness marker. What marker? At the moment, we're focused on Miss Brett, who is the person actually making the current statement. But by moving the marker left and right, you can turn the attention to the other people in the stand. While you're looking at the other witness, you'll be able to pursue them with A. Alright, let's try that. Alright, let's try it. Okay, let's go!
Wait.
So I move with what? Thank you.
Excuse me.
What is the meaning of this? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. He really was lost in his thoughts. It looked like you were thinking something just now, Inspector. Perhaps having heard what the lady next to you had to say. If there's something you'd like to say, please share with the court.
Objection!
What is the meaning of this?
It's the delightful Englishwoman who's testifying at the moment.
If you can't find fault with her testimony, then the cross-examination should be over immediately. Oh, is that how it works? Absolutely not. The detective is in the stand, which makes him a valid witness. Yes, not to mention the fact that he's intimately involved in the case. Inspector Hosanaga. Yes. Do you have something to add in relation to the statement just made by Miss Brett? Well, yes. If you don't mind, I would like to speak. The lady is right. Our country's police practices are not as modern as those used in Great Britain, which is why I, Satoru Hosanaga, always strive to make every investigation I'm involved in flawless. What do you really mean by that? I'll tell you what I mean. I won't have evidence lacking on my watch. I'm not afraid to take everything I can from the scene of the crime. It's preserving evidence, you see. I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief. I'm not ashamed of what I've done. A crime scene thief? Well, it looks like the lady's remarks touch a nerve there. Take this, for example. Is that a carbonated drink? And yes, it's lots of all its fizz, having been opened 3 days ago now. But it was carbonated water. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, there's some left in the bottle. I can see it. One day our police force will be among the best in the world. The time is coming. I guarantee it. Does this relate back to the current future in 2016? I can't say I condone the witness' actions, but I do understand the sentiment. The court will accept the glass bottle of water as evidence. Carbonated water. Miss Brett. Can you confirm this is indeed the bottle from which you drank on the day of the victim's death?
Oui. It was that bottle.
What was that about? She seemed to avert her eyes when she answered the judge's question. Very well, Consul. You may resume the cross-examination. Let's see. Please don't press any dumb buttons. What do we got here? Anything unusual in this bottle? Oh? Oh well. I can't find anything out of place. The label is written in a foreign language that I don't recognize. Do you know what it says, Kazuma? I think it's French. This must be expensive water, quote unquote. Yes, but what does it say? That's what I was asking. Then go to France and ask. You could just say that you don't know. Okay, what can we find? Is there anything out of the ordinary? Nope. Besides the label, that's all we got. So this carbonated water is the last drink Dr. Wilson ever had. Looks like there's a little left in the bottle, although it's just plain water now. You know, I've been sweating so much, I'm absolutely parched. I'll just have a sip of this to keep me going. No, Ryunosuke, you can't do that. For one thing, that's evidence. You can't go drinking evidence. Oh no, you're right. We don't know what might be inside, do we? You never cease to amaze me, Ryunosuke. More ways than one. I wonder, could there be anything in this water? What's the matter? You've gone quiet all of a sudden. I think I might have just worked something out. An interesting possibility. So we got a possibility. When the waiter drank a glass of the toast, as far as I heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death and blah blah. Some other way it can be taken without leaving a trace. Please do show me. Please tell me this is the right thing before I lose something. Take it.
Yes!
What is this? The bottle of water? Actually, there is one method of killing a man without leaving a trace that comes to mind. Obviously, I'm referring to poison. Poison? On the day of his death, we know that Dr. Wilson drank from this bottle of carbonated water. Cyanide poisoning. Could it be that there was poison inside? And he drank the poison. Could it be that the professor actually died after taking a sip from his glass? And he has poison in him. Order! And on that day, who was sitting at the same table as the professor, able to slip the poison into his drink? There's only one person who could possibly have done it. Giselle Brett, it was you.
Objection!
This is outrageous. To suggest such a thing without a scrap of evidence. You little rookie imbecile. Have you ever considered the delicate situation our country finds itself in now? Have you forgotten that we have only just signed an accord of friendship with the British Empire? Have you even the vaguest inkling that your rash accusation could jeopardize the entire treaty?
Objection!
This is not a political arena. This is a trial to determine our once individual's guilt with respect to one crime. What? The fact that the woman in British makes no difference. We are here to determine the truth.
Ahem, if I may.
I will silence you forever for this disgraceful attack on the lovely...
It is you who should be silent.
Of course. Dear lady. Where did that come from? She just snapped. Just show us your face already.
I'm afraid I may have spoken unfairly before. I offer my most humble apologies.
I'm sorry, my lady. To what are you referring?
I describe your police force as inferior, but no matter how inferior they may be, you still investigated this particular point thoroughly, I believe. The bottle, I mean, Inspector, and whether it contained poison or not.
He drank the poison. Of course. You did? Have you forgotten what my guiding principle? I already know what it means. How many times? I don't believe it. Naturally, we tested the inside of the bottle and its contents. And? What did you find, Inspector? I ordered a test for every toxin that's available in this country at the present time. We could not find no trace of poison of any description in the bottle of carbonated water, Your Excellency. What? Are you sure? The tests were meticulously carried out by the chief coroner himself. No. No!
I'm very grateful to all you Japanese. You successfully established my complete innocence in this horrid affair. Thank you.
But of course, dear lady, the pleasure was all ours. I was so sure. This can't be right. Everything falls into place if he was poisoned. But he says that's on everything they have is the thing. As the prosecution have asserted, a shot to the chest from the gun is the only conceivable cause of death. Furthermore, the accused, who by his own admission was holding the weapon, is only the possible culprit. I'm done for. The court wishes to apologize for the great inconvenience this has caused you, Miss Brett.
Oh no, I'm just glad the matter's resolved.
Before proceeding, I must ask the counsel for the defense. Do you have any further new evidence to present the court at the point? Kazuma? I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. I have nothing more.
Well, if you excuse me now, I really must be leaving.
Adieu. Hold it! Maya?
Please, wait!
Isn't that... What is the meaning of this?
Forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency. Susato Mikotoba, Judicial Assistant to Defense.
Mikotoba? In my darkest hour, with nowhere left to go, she appeared like a bolt of lightning. And in her hand, she carried a small package in furoshiki cloth. To be continued? Oh, wow. Wow. Short intermission. Like, comment, subscribe. Chronicles, I'm signing out.